lovelies, how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a new video, and today I'm here to talk about Charlamagne sitting down with the cast of Girlfriends as they talk about black women and dark skin representation. So who were Girlfriends? If you're unaware of this sitcom, this was a show that was on UPN. This show in particular talked about dating all the way to divorce and showcasing successful black women.
All I had when I came to LA was some BS and I learned how to spin it. That's all I'm saying. Learn how to make your S smell good.
Well, ladies, I could just sit up here and chat with you all day. I really could. But I'm sure our audience members would love to jump in. Yes, you in the back. Yes.
It seems like women of color who have achieved success have had to sacrifice their personal lives. Can anyone address that?
Joan.
Yes, I'll field this one. Lynn Searcy, 5 master's degrees at UCLA. In order to answer your question, it would depend on how you measure success. I hear a lot of talk here today about success in materialistic terms. I mean, how much money do you have? How big is your house? When are you going to get a job? This obsession with material success
Thank you, Lynn.
is why the third world is saddled with unserviceable debt.
And the importance of friends and family. It was about 4 women named Joan, Maya, Lynn, and Tony, and they all supported each other despite their different backgrounds and experiences. Last month, Tracee Ellis Ross took to her social media to talk about reuniting with the Girlfriends for an episode about feminism.
So we have an extra special episode of Blackish, and it's a feminist episode, and I brought in some backup from some of my girlfriends.
Oh, hell yes.
What? Shut every door!
Yeah, oh, yes, hell yes, hell yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, hell yes, hell yes.
She also took to social media and she put this caption: "My girlfriends are guest starring on Blackish Tuesday, October 8th. We haven't all been together on camera since 2006. These are women I grew up with and loved deeply, and it was easy to tap back into the magic of our chemistry and how much we love each other. It was giggles on top of giggles on top of giggles. Girlfriend ran for 8 years and was important to many people. Being able to merge the worlds of Blackish, ABC, and Girlfriends was surreal for me and so much fun."
I need your help with a group of well-intentioned white women.
Oh, so basically what you're saying is you need black up.
I need it desperately.
So throughout interviews, they were able to sit down with Charlamagne, and in that interview, they talked about dark skin representation and the importance of black women in TV.
I always wondered what that struggle was like for y'all when y'all first started Girlfriends, though, because it was really a representation to me of what blackness was. Did y'all have to have those fights with the writers?
Girlfriends and our crew, cast, the whole thing had such diversity, and we were led by Mara Brock-Akil, by a black woman. Our writers' room was majority black women. Our crew, our director of photography was a black man. Then there was us.
Even like first AD, like women.
All of it.
Yes, first AD, second AD, like all of that. Our script supervisor was a black woman. We had such diversity.
It wasn't premeditated.
It was a normal thing.
It was what
and
it
it's
was normal.
changed the way I go forward in my career because it was such an assumption, and that's not the way it is everywhere.
Tracee Ellis Ross also discussed her wearing her natural hair on TV and how other black women took to it.
When we went to Essence, I remember a woman pulling me aside and saying, "Girl, you're on television. Why don't you get your hair did?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what do you mean?" She was like, "Put some heat on your hair. You're on TV."
Like get a perm, basically.
Yeah, or like
some
some
heat.
heat.
Flat
Just
iron
like
it.
just do something to your hair.
I don't know what that means. School
Flat iron.
Straight
got you.
it.
Boom. Okay.
The natural
how
look
we
wasn't
get
in.
me. Yeah, that didn't
natural
exist.
state.
There weren't newscasters wearing their hair in natural curl patterns or any of that kind of thing. It was not at the forefront of entertainment and media in that sense. And so there were so many things that didn't exist then that we were talking about and doing, but we as a show were in a landscape that did not support us.
They also touched on why they felt it was important to touch on certain topics, such as Tony being dark-skinned and feeling she was not pretty as a dark-skinned girl, as well as Lynn being mixed on the show. At first, they wanted her to be a light-skinned black woman, but Lynn fought for her to be a mixed woman.
Too about Tony
talking
about her skin complexion,
Yep.
about being too dark and stuff,
or being too light. I mean, I didn't. I won't even go there. If it wasn't for this show, people still, what are you? And that's like your life when you're mixed. And the mix factor I actually asked for. She was just going to be an incredibly light-skinned black girl. I was like, can we just talk about the fact that she's mixed? Because I don't know how many black women I've run into in the world now that are like, oh my God, you're representing me. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, I asked for it. And they were like, you're going to take a lot of heat. And I was like, that's fine. Bring it on. Let's joke about it. Let's talk about it.
You know, I played a black woman on Girlfriends.
Yeah.
And Blackish was the first time that I actually was able to play a mixed woman. Because throughout my career, I'm a black woman, but I'm mixed.
Charlamagne also asked about biracial and mixed representation and how they felt about that, and this is what they had to say.
I've had to have an understanding of both cultures with an open heart and a compassion that, you know, from a young age, knowing that I don't judge a book by its cover, it has really inspired me to look for how I am the same instead of like where the humanity connection is. But at the same time, know that like I don't believe in a colorblind world. I think that the beauty of our world is all of the different cultures and textures and skin tones and that we come from. That's where the juice comes from. That's where the joy and all of it exists. And I think what I come from has allowed me to have an open lens for that.
This segment basically led to them speaking about seeing dark skin representation and how Tracee Ellis Ross' mother made them feel growing up.
Not that she was the first brown-skinned woman that has ever been on television or in film, but she was the first person that I saw in Lady Sings the Blues, which is very special to me. And so, you know, I thought like, wow, that would be so cool to be able to do something like that. But it wasn't until I saw her, I was like, wow, that's possible. So Tracy's always known that, like, I hold her mom to a very high stand, you know, just like she's just up there in awe.
My experience, you know, growing up, single mom, my mom has raised my brother and I on our own. My mother's very light-skinned. So there was that aesthetic disconnection that I had with my mother. And she worked 2 to 3 jobs, grew up in the Bay Area. So my brother and I were always, you know, it was a TV. This is what happened. So I constantly, my mom's my hero. She's a strong, conscious, beautiful woman. But I always felt like Miss Barbara. But there was that, I wanted to see this, you know, and watching movies, TV, seeing Lady Sings the Blues, seeing Diana Ross be a dark-skinned black woman, sensitive, you know, sensual, vivacious, smart, creative, full of life, and just glamorous in her clothes. And I was like, whoa, who is this woman? Who is this? And my daughter was even her for Halloween. Yeah, like she has just sort of bookmarked, and I cry because it's important. And we're raising these little girls, and now my turn.
Kleenex, please.
Sorry. It's important for them to see themselves. And so I thank Tracy's mother for that. Because sometimes when you're growing up, you're visual and you feel things, but you see, and that's what creates that feeling. And so seeing her mother, it just really inspired me. So I wouldn't say nervous, but I was highly anxious to see someone that I felt like emulated an aesthetic that I desperately needed during my upbringing.
All in all, I really thought it was a great interview. You guys should go and watch it. It is on Charlamagne the God's channel. However, I really wish they would have went back to how Jill was discussing Tony feeling dark-skinned on camera and how that made her feel and how she embodied that. What personal experiences made her embody that on camera, because it was kind of cut off when she wanted to share about Lynn, you know, being mixed and biracial. I kind of wish they would have went back into that. I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I really felt like they cut her off. You guys let me know your thoughts and your opinions about this. Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.